Hello everyone, it's Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be making a matchbook with the Poinsettia Petals stamp set along with the matching poinsettia dies. I've had quite a few uses with these dies and I absolutely love them. And so today I'm going to be featuring this gorgeous bundle. This can be found in our mini holiday catalogue and they're available right now if you wish to purchase them. So we're going to be using some unusual colours for this project though. I'm going to be using some Whisper White, some Highland Heather. Now this piece of cardstock measures 4 inches across by 8 1/4 inches long, and we have a piece of Highland Heather again which is 1/2 inch by 7 1/4, and this is for a belly band. And excuse me, we're going to be putting these inside the matchbook. This will make a great idea for your Christmas gift giving, to keep it nice and simple if you want to hand it out to whoever, neighbours, postman, whatever. So these are really cute and I thought, why not? I've made a project like this before a few years ago with some snowflakes. So today I'm going to use poinsettias and I think it'll look really, really nice. So what we will do is we will start, I think, embossing. So what you will need is your embossing buddy or an anti-static powder tool. And I'm just going to rub it across all of the Highland Heather cardstock here. And I'm also going to rub it on the Whisper White piece of cardstock here. And I'm going to be using this image over here for the Whisper White piece. So I'm going to use some Versamark and we're going to heat emboss this. So I'm just going to ink this up well. I think my ink pad's a little dry, so I'll have to give it a good stamp. And stamp that on the page here. And I'll just leave it for a few seconds to ensure that the image fully transfers. And I might turn it over as well and just give it a rub on the back of it as well to make sure I get everything. And because it's got Versamark, it kind of sticks as well, so it's a sticky kind of an ink. Oh yeah, I think I got a good impression with that. Wipe this off. And then for the Highland Heather, I'll be using this image here, and we're going to stamp all over the Highland Heather piece, just random. So I've just finished now stamping with Versamark all over this piece of cardstock. Oops, use this one. Clean that up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use white embossing powder over the whole lot. So I'll put some now on my Whisper White here. So I've just finished now putting the embossing powder all over the cardstock. Now there's a bit here I missed. And also made a mess on my table. So what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to clean that up and I'll heat emboss this and then I'll come back. So I have just finished heat embossing the images, and aren't they looking beautiful? Love that shine. And this is the one with the Highland Heather and the Whisper White. Looks beautiful. I thought I'd choose some kind of, you know, non-traditional Christmas colours. I really like them. Alright, so what I'm going to do with this one over here is I am going to use my die cutting machine and I'm going to cut the poinsettia out with the dies. So I'll just grab the matching die. Okay, and I'll just line that up. I'm going to cut that out with my cut and emboss machine. Still going great. I'm not disappointed in it in any way. I absolutely love it. And it's not because I sell it. I actually think it's a really good machine. And if it wasn't, I would say so, because I'm not afraid to, you know, say it as it is. So I will grab my machine. Still had a bit of embossing powder there from my spill. So I'll put the whole thing in there. So it's a number 1 plate, number 2 and 2/3. If you've got old big shot plates, they will also fit through the machine without an issue. Alrighty, so that's worked out beautiful. And I won't need the machine anymore. I actually store my machine folded up because I don't have a lot of room. So here is now my poinsettia piece all cut out very nicely. So I'll remove all of that. And I'll put my die away, otherwise I will lose it, knowing me. Alright. Oops, little pieces falling out everywhere. Okay, so with our Highland Heather piece, what we're going to do is some scoring. So on the 4-inch side, we are going to score at 1/4, half, and then we're going to score at 3.5, and 3 3/4. Then we're going to turn this around to the 8.25-inch side, and we're going to score at 1 3/4, 2, 5, and 5.25. And so you'll have one piece that's a bit larger, and that score line goes at 3.25, and then you have a smaller one down the bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to cut off 1/2 inch up until this bottom score line right here, from the first of those two there. So I'm going to grab my trimmer because I think it'll be easier than using a pair of scissors. And we are going to cut off 1/2 inch up until that point over there, okay? So if you can see it up close, so you'll have a larger piece here, and then you'll have a smaller piece here. This will form a pocket, just so you know, so we can fit our little M&Ms in there or any other kind of snack size thing. So we're going to cut off 1/2 inch, okay? So there's our 1/2 inch. So I'll just make sure I've lined it up well. That's right, 1/2 inch there, perfect. And then we're going to, geez, that's come out. Okay, and we'll cut down to there. So see, all of that's off. And then I'm going to just turn it on the underside, and you'll see the score lines a little better there. And then you'll cut off up until that point here. Let's make sure I've got the 1/2 inch. Yes. Okay. All right, and then we'll take the trimmer away, and then we're going to snip off those bits. So it ends up looking like this. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to snip off a little 1/4 inch, and it'll become the flap here. And this will help position your little pocket afterwards. So keep this 1/4 inch here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold and burnish all of the score lines. So just give me a second. As per usual, I forgot to bring my bone folder. So I'm going to bring that over now. Aren't I pathetic? All right. Okay, got that now. So we're just going to fold and burnish all of the score lines. Got another one here to score. Just got to be careful because it's such a small 1/4 inch little margin. So just be really careful. So it has like a little thing like that. Isn't it cute? And then we'll do that here as well. And here. And then with these ones, and again we will score, burnish those every single little score line. All right, it's a little tricky because it's got a 1/4 inch, but it's not hard to make. Now, what will end up happening is these will be tucked in, and this will help kind of it stick on itself. And then on these little bits here on the 1/4 inch, we're going to miter in only on the 1/4. So it's just a tiny little snip there, not the flap. Snip that there, so it looks like that. See that? And then we'll do the same on the other side. And there. So it looks like that. Okay? Now, this is the really easy part to stick that all in. So we're going to put the flaps in. We're going to put that in on itself, and then we will just put some glue right on the edge. So I'm going to use some liquid glue on both of these little flaps, and this will help to position everything together. And you can put some glue on these little flaps too, and that will just give it some extra stability as well when you're sticking that down. So what you can do is put that over that little 1/4 inch margin there, and then line it up so it lines up perfectly on that side. So it looks like that. And then we will do the same on this side. If I can stick it in there. There we go. Got a bit of glue on my hands there. Okay, and just stick that in there and line that up. So it just gives a nice little 1/4 inch pocket width-wise, like that, see? And I'm just going to grab my bone folder, and I'll just kind of just push that down a little bit, those inner panels, and that little flap too will be sticking in on the sides. So if you see on the inside, it looks like that. And then you can put your M&M packet in there. So just give it a minute to stick as well, because it's got some embossing on it. It'll take a little bit of time for it to stick down. So just give it a minute. Alright, so now I'll put my M&Ms in there, and it gives it a nice gap, so it looks like that. So what we will do with that 1/4 inch belly band is we're just going to, as is, just put that around, okay, and then we're going to just fold and then give it a little pinch around where the score lines are. So you don't want it to be too tight, because you want to be able to move the belly band up and down. So what I'm going to do now is just give a burnish on those little score lines that we just did there. So it doesn't have to be particular, as long as it wraps around, that's the main thing. And there, and then we'll give this another little burnish. Okay, and so now what we can do is we just put the belly band on. Like so, and we're just going to stick a bit of glue just here where it intersects. Okay, and I'll just hold it there for a minute. So this is a really cute idea, and then, you know, feel free to change up the colours and, you know, the stamp sets and embellishments you wish to use. The sky's the limit, and I think this is great even for Halloween too. You can use this for birthday favours, even wedding favours. These are really cool. So here is my poinsettia. Isn't that gorgeous? But what we're going to do is not leave it white. I'm going to grab my craft sheet. I'm going to do some ink blending on that, and we're going to be using the Emboss Resist because we've already heat embossed that and it will resist the colour. So I'm just going to grab a makeup brush. I'm going to grab one of my smaller ones, and I'll grab a tissue as well because I will need to wipe the excess ink off the top of that embossing. So this is the Highland Heather ink. So I'm just going to dip my brush in there, tap off, and I'll go dark in the middle, and then I will go a little bit lighter on the edges. And I'll tap off quite a bit there and just go light on the edges. And it looks really pretty, and just add a little bit more colour. And I think that looks really pretty. Let's bring that up close so you can see the colours. Isn't that gorgeous? So, just going to clean up here a little bit. Take that away. Alright, so that's all done. So what I'm going to do is now bring my poinsettia there, and I'm going to, I think I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals on the back of that. So I'm going to add one here and here, and I think that's the perfect amount there. and then we'll stick, whoops, oh, get that off there. Alright, and we'll stick that poinsettia. Oh, I didn't wipe off the excess ink, did I? Let's wipe that all off. Okay, so that gets rid of the excess ink. And now I'm going to add the poinsettia on to that. And that's how that looks. So when we take off our belly band, check it out. Isn't that cute? I love the way this has turned out. So when you have these M&Ms, you just tuck in a little bit of the M&Ms, and that way you can get 2 of these out of 1 sheet of A4 cardstock, so that's pretty economic. And then the belly band fits perfectly over the top, and it keeps this matchbook closed. Now I feel that something is missing here in the middle, like bling, so just bear with me. I'll grab some pearls and then I shall be back. Just got a bunch of pearls. I've had these for several years, but we still sell them, so I'm going to keep using them. So now I'm just going to take off, just going to get about 3 pearls and put them in the middle. This makes it so cute. I like adding pearls. Just put 3 of them in the middle. And that's it close up. Isn't that cute? I love that. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave any comments below this video. You can also contact me privately by messaging me through my online store, and just use the contact me section at pepperlyrosepapercrafting.stampinup.net, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have within 24 hours. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and this will make a great gift I give for really any occasion. Table favours, wedding favours, christening favours, for little tiny Christmas gifts, Halloween, you name it. You can adapt this little matchbox for anything. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye for now.